Alrighty, so hello everybody. Welcome back to Final Fantasy. We're continuing with the Stormblood post-main story stuff. So a little bit of a recap as to what's been happening so far. So we're here in, well, Kugani right now, but we're here in Doma for this part of the main story. And we've learned that Garlemald has reached out via this man called Asahi. They've reached out. Asahi has come to Doma as an ambassador of peace, quote unquote, to try to negotiate a peace treaty with Doma. However, Asahi states that he is part of just one part of Garlemald. He's part of a group known as the Populares, or I believe that's what they were called, who wish to see reform in how the provinces are treated and wish to see reform in general in the Garlemald Empire, or so he says. He says there's another group in Garlemald that I forget the name of that are made up of pure-blooded Garleans only, who are sort of like working against him. But this guy comes across as like super shady. He's he always seems super insincere. He sort of like discusses this potential peace with Doma, and Hien rightfully criticizes as being like, well, if you can't speak for the entirely Garlemald, you know, how can we negotiate this peace? And he's just like, all right, maybe we can't do that, but we can negotiate maybe a prisoner exchange. You know, you give us your Garlean prisoners and Yotsuyu, and we give you back the people that were conscripted from Doma. And Hien's just like, all right, this is the least, we'll, even though we're not trusting of this guy, this is the least we can do, because he risked the lives of those Doman conscripted when he incited the rebellion, knowing that full well Garlemald could just execute them all in retaliation. So he's just like, anything that he can do for those people, he's gonna try it, even if it turns out to be a falsehood. He did, however, explain the situation of Yotsuyu to Asahi, being like, yeah, she's totally lost her memories. Hien has a little bit of a talk with Gosetsu as well, a little bit of a heart-to-heart about what's going to happen with Yotsuyu. And they end up coming to the conclusion that if Yotsuyu doesn't gain back her memories, they'll treat her well and she can live out her days in Doma. But if she does, they'll send her back to Garlemald in the prisoner exchange. So yeah, that's where that currently stands. Asahi keeps on trying to come across like he says the words. It's really great, but he you know, he always comes across as super insincere. But yeah, so Asahi comes across as always like super insincere. We do get a little moment where like, well, Hien is talking with Alphino and they're sort of like deliberating on they're given some time to deliberate on the offer. Asahi's sort of just like, hey, I'd like to go travel around with you around Kugane, because Asahi is originally from, not Kugane, I mean, from around Yensha. He's originally from Doma, and he'd like to see some of his homeland, so he says. So he travels around with us. We go to see a couple of the sites, like Doma Castle and stuff like that, and then we run into a bit of a problem where Issei and his sister are being attacked by Kojin of the Red. Now, this seems very suspicious, because, like, why are the Kojin of the Red here and not the Ruby Sea? You know, why are they attacking just random villagers? It all seems pretty suspicious, but Asahi goes to immediately run to their aid, and he seems, like, super nice, and he saves them, and he's just like, it's okay, small child, you're perfectly safe. But I'm just like, sus. I'm just like, sus. This whole situation is sus. But we go back to Hien. Hien asks us, hey, do you trust Asahi? Like, after that moment, you know, like Alice is almost just like, well, he seems kind of like sincere. Maybe he is being truthful. I'm just like, no, he's sus. Hien asks us, he says, do you trust him? I'm like, no. Which is a good thing, because later on, as he's about to leave, his facade drops. For some reason, he has to speak with us 1v1, and his facade drops. He's like done putting up a front for us, and he's just like, I hate you. I hate you, specifically me, the Warrior of Blight. I hate you. I hate your face. I hate everything you stand for. We get a little bit of a vision with the Echo, where like we see him as an Imperial soldier in the rebellion in Doma. and he's about to be cut down by the insurgents. And he's just like, you fucking savages, cutting me down will do nothing. So we can see already from there that he's been an asshole. But then Xenos sweeps through, takes out the whole fucking squad, and Asahi is just freaking enamored and inspired. He's just like, who was that? He's so powerful. Of course, Xenos is just like doesn't even barely acknowledges him, and he just keeps on going. And Asahi's just like, Xenos is so awesome. And so we learned that he's sort of like a disciple of Xenos, and he hates our guts because we supposedly killed Xenos. Now, he actually killed himself, but we also like defeated Xenos or whatever. He's just like, your light is nothing compared to his radiance. He was going to bring in a new age for our people and stuff like that. And so we learned that Asahi was a fucking liar, and he's a little unhinged. But even though we tell this to Hien afterwards, he still wants to go through the prisoner exchange because he's just like, well, we have to try. But should be highly suspicious. That's his intentions are definitely not good. He's definitely got a plan for some shenanigans. So Alphino, Alice, and I agree to hang out here in Kugane to stay on hand for a little while in case shit hits the fan. And this is where we are right now. So we're back here at the Aldenard East Trading Company to await the news of what's happening with the prisoner exchange. All right, Alice. I don't envy Lord Hien. So much rests on his decision. Yeah, Hien did great, by the way. Hien did great. He was a great diplomat. He did great when he was talking with Asahi. So Hien, a good guy. Alphino? Since we have not else to attend to for the moment, perhaps this would be a good opportunity to look into the present state of Garlemald. Though I should probably speak with Totaro first. Speaking of Totaro? Welcome back, Kelwyn. We heard the good news about Gosetsu. I knew you'd find him. Yeah, Gosetsu's actually alive. That's at least the good news in all this. But he seems to be, like, injured in some way still. Like, maybe unable to fight anymore. Right, Hancock? We're back. My, it seems you're all in quite the predicament. Well, should we receive any urgent missives from Doma, rest assured you'll be the first to know of it. Yes, of course. We're discussing ideas to replenish our coffers, but I suppose that all can wait if any urgent news should come through the office. We're talking about this and those. So Alphino, Gosetsu to be able to pay purchase for passage to Doma, because he was stranded out on an island and he had nothing to his name. When he managed to get here to Kugane on a raft, he sold his katana, and Alphino was just like, when we found the katana at the market, Alphino was just like, we'll buy it back with the Scion money. How much can the sword cost, am I right? And he didn't even look at the price tag, and Totaro was just like, what the fuck, Alphino? So yeah, Alice later was just like, Alphino, did you actually look at the price of that sword? And so Alphino's like, oh fuck. About that, I wish to apologize to Taro. It was reckless of me to make such a purchase without first consulting you. You may be certain, however, that I mean to reimburse the Scions, even if it means drawing upon my personal funds. That's very thoughtful of you, but I'm sure it won't come to that. Oh, Totaro's got a plan. If Soraban's business proposition is as promising as it sounds, Kelwyn should have no difficulty wiping the red from our ledger. Yeah, we got a message from Soraban. That somebody was looking for us in the Ruby Sea because they were just like, they basically sent out a missive to everybody in the Ruby Sea being like, hey, bring us whoever slew the Lord of the Revel. We need their help. We'll give them lots of money, basically. Yeah, that's Alphino. Oh, fuck, about that. I guess we're putting it all on us to do this. We haven't been out there yet to go see what the missive was about, though, so eventually. Forgive me, Kelwyn. It would seem I have unwittingly heaped my financial troubles upon you. I swear I will pay you back. It's alright. We were gonna go see what this missive was about anyway. If we just happen to gain some funds for the Scions in the process, cool beans. Though I fear I will struggle to cobble together anything of monetary value, knowledge I can gather in abundance. To start, I plan to investigate the divisions forming within the Empire. Mayhap Rio and his associates have heard something on the subject. Oh, Rio being Rio and his associates. It's the loyal Crystal Braves. It's the loyalists, the ones who remain true to the Scions. Oh, music suddenly stopped. Regardless, the more we know about the politics of Garlemald, the better our chances of predicting the Imperial's next move, which might yield you an advantage on the day of the prisoner exchange. Maybe. Knowing what we do of Asahi's apparent resentment towards you, his very strong resentment towards us, he really hates us. It has been a while since we've seen such targeted malice directed directly to us, the player character. Like, usually just like, I hate all Eozians, or I hate all mortals, or whatever. But this is like specifically us. Very resentful. The hatred was palpable. Knowing of what we do of Asahi's apparent resentment towards you, I cannot say what he hopes to gain from it. Yeah, who knows? Maybe my life. Maybe it's trap. In fact, definitely it's trap. But if there is even the faintest chance that a lasting peace could be forged between Dome and the Empire, no. Maybe we can get this prisoner exchange to go through. Maybe we can pull something out of the prisoner exchange, but peace with this guy? No. He's not the one. What choice have we but to try? That's fair enough. Well, we can't. It's fair enough that we can't just say deny them, but you know, like don't hold out hope for that. Alphinaud's not gonna happen. Asahi may very well be a monster, but we must play his game. Or Lord Hien had the right of it. Asahi may very well be a monster, but we must play his game for now. Yeah, if he's a follower of Xenos, then yeah, Xenos was callous. So we have yet to see more of Asahi. So far, all we know is that he's two-faced. But that's it. All right, we're gonna be taking the coffer of the defending armor, which is the tanking set. Oh. Meanwhile, in Garlemald, question mark? Oh, these are the personal guard of Asahi. There's Asahi. Right there. Arranging the prisoner exchange proved easier than I thought. He's so evil. Oh, that was easier than I thought. Yes, my lord will be most pleased. Everything is going according to plan. Well, he's definitely got something in the wings. Don't know what. But whatever it is, it's not good. Oh, meanwhile with Yotsuyu. Oh, this was their moment.
Can you truly remember nothing? Nothing at all?
Ooh, this voice. This was the moment Asahi, because Yotsuyu is their step siblings. Asahi asked for a moment in private with Yotsuyu. Now, I didn't think that was a good idea, but Hien allowed it. Because I know that the step family treated Yotsuyu like shit.
Friends? Yes. We were good friends, you and I.
Yes.
In fact, I've brought you a gift. I pray that one day soon, as you gaze into that mirror, you will remember the woman staring back at you.
Okay, he got her a mirror. Interesting. Did he have that already on him and he was just like, maybe it was something of hers? Who knows? I mean, that looks like a nice pocket mirror.
It's so pretty. Who are you? Who are you?
She's talking about herself. Well, I mean, that's for you to decide. You know, like, unfortunately, all Yotsuyu knows of her. Oh, hold on. Meanwhile, in the Imperial capital. Oh, there's more. This is a nice room.
How are you feeling, my lord?
Imperial Medicus.
Finally.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Xenos, question mark, question mark, question mark, exclamation mark. Look at this, Sinister look at the camera. Now this doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense because we apparently breed Xenos, question mark. So he slit his throat after we defeated him in Stormblood, and like we buried him. So like we know there was a body. Apparently he was cold when we put him in the ground, most likely. I mean, we wouldn't have put him in the ground if he was still fucking kicking. So that is weird. What happened with that? We don't know yet. But yeah, something funky's going on. Something funky's going on. All right, Tataru. But if Xenos is still alive, shit. That's not good. Because Xenos is loco. He is unhinged. You know, Rauban, after he was defeated, was just like, oh good, he's dead. And I was like, well, I can't disagree. He's such he's super powerful, and he's such a wild card. And like I said, he was callous. And like he went through with these experiments that to imbue people with the false echo. He did these experiments on himself as well. And to imbue someone with the false echo, you have to like suck the ether, which is the life force, out of like numerous people. Like we went to the research facility and there was like dozens of bodies. And apparently it's like a horrible, painful death. So yeah, so we know Xenos evil. Cruel. He doesn't care for anybody or anything. Alright, Tataru. I will replenish our coffers. You wait and see. If all goes as planned, we will recoup the cost of Gosetsu's blade 10 times over. I will say. Whatever Asahi is planning, we cannot let him have his way. After all Lord Hien has done, the Empire cannot be suffered to hinder Doma's restoration. Cock. More often than not, it seems opportunities want to come knocking when the scions are about. So long as you and yours remain here in Kugane, I'm certain a profitable venture will present itself. Alright, now for now. Gosetsu and Tsuyu. And then we've got the scouting coffer, which is ninja, I believe. The ninja armor aiming coffer, which is physical range DPS, healing coffer, and casting coffer. So I think we're going to pick up the healing coffer because even though I bought these 2 tombstone items, the rest of our gear is still lower item level. So for like the boots and the hands and the hat, we might as well pick up the healing set since I'm maining healer. I think that's good. Plus I've like used all of my tombstones. So until we replenish those, you know, I'm not going to be purchasing more gear from that vendor quite yet. Alphino has important news to share. Accept. Ah, Kelwyn, impeccable timing. We have just received a letter from Lord Hien. He writes that the Domans are coordinating their efforts with the Blue Kojin to maintain a constant watch over the Red. By staying on the lookout for signs of crystal hoarding and the like, they mean to nip any summoning attempts in the bud, thereby satisfying the conditions for peace set down by the ambassador. Yeah, well, the problem is they haven't... Like, I don't know if they... Like, I don't know if they're approached by Asians to be like, hey, would you like to summon that kami again? Here's the way. You know, because otherwise it seemed like the summoning of the Lord of the Revel was a fluke, to be honest. That is very unlikely to happen again. So I like, but I could be wrong. For the Garland's part, the Populares have sent word that a vessel bearing Doman conscripts is soon to arrive in Yansha. It would seem the prisoner exchanges proceed as planned. Lord Hien requests your presence, and I share his view that you should be on hand at this crucial juncture. Okay, it is for sure a trap, though. According to the letter, Yotsuyu's memory has yet to return, so it looks like she'll be living out the rest of her days in Doma. Her memory could return. Once again, her memory could return at any moment. So you guys say, "Oh, the rest of her days," as if this is like for sure always going to be a permanent condition. It could be like a year later. Oh shoot! I accidentally pressed the button. Oh well. Before we get to that, however, I think it would be wise to assess her condition one last time. If the Domans have missed any change in her mental state, however slight, it would be better if Asahi weren't the one to spot it. Agreed. Let us make straight ways for the Enclave then. Lord Hien will be waiting. I trust you will cope in our absence, Taro. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine. Just be sure to come back safely. We'll try, but once again, it's for sure a trap. And if it's going to be a trap for anyone, it's probably going to be a trap for me. Alright, hold on. Let me look at the dialogue there that I missed. According to Yotsuyu, my memory has yet to return, so it looks like she'll be living out the rest of her days in Doma. Assuming the ambassador means to honor the agreement, of course. That was what I missed. Alright, Totaro. Alphino has been keeping a very careful count of his coins lately. I doubt he'd ask for a sip of water without asking the price first. Okay, good. He's learned to check the price on things. I'm very much in favor of a peace agreement between Doma and the Empire. Loosen that imperial grip, I say, and let the trade routes breathe freely. Yeah, I'm sure that's great for traders. I mean, it'd be great for everybody if Garlemald stopped being a giant piece of shit, but will it happen? Doubtful. All right. Okay, hold on. It doesn't appear on the map, but we do know that there is the Aetheryte at the Enclave. Here we go. Also, while we're here, because I knew it would send us back here eventually, let's go hand in the So yesterday we also did a little bit of a side quest. We did a little bit of a side quest where we got the side quest from here where we went out. They're basically rebuilding the Enclave here, and they were wondering if the Domans that were in that the refugees that were in Eorzea, the ones that came with Yugiri, the ones that are in Revenant's Toll, if they would come help the efforts out here, because having spent time rebuilding Revenant's Toll as while they were out there, they have knowledge that could help them, because they're apparently in sore need of crafters and rebuilders. So they asked us to go retrieve the refugees. We went out and talked to the people, the refugees of Revenant's Toll. They were really very happy to be able to return to Doma, but it was also a little bit bittersweet to say goodbye to their friends that they had made in Eorzea as well, and Revenant's Toll, which they had helped made into the outpost that it is today. But in the end, they agreed to come back here to the Enclave, and the leader of the Adventurers Guild, the leader of the Adventurers Guild in Revenant's Toll also agreed to maybe send some Eorzeans here as well, some of the friends of the people of the Doman Enclave, to help with the rebuilding efforts for a little bit as well. So yeah, so now we're talking, we're returning here to Kozakura. Kelwyn, you are returned from Eorzea. That I am. The refugees are on their way back. They are homeward bound then. It comes as a relief to hear that there were no complications. Thank you for facilitating their return. I shall inform Lord Hien at the first opportunity. We have a mountain of work ahead of us, but with their help, I am confident we can see it through, and I hope I can count on your assistance in the future as well. 1001 farewells complete. Alright, the next part of this. It takes an enclave. Kozakura has a proper position for you. Kelwyn, Kami be praised. I was hoping you might pay us a visit. It is, as ever, an honor. No problem. No need for the formalities. Once again, I must thank you for helping our brothers and sisters secure passage back home. With so many skilled craftsmen soon to be at our disposal, we of the Shazenkai are ready to proceed to the next stage of our plan to rebuild the Enclave. Which brings me to a rather delicate matter. Perhaps you will find this shameless, but circumstances being what they are, I see no other way. The reconstruction and revitalization of the Enclave cannot hope to succeed without the contributions of wealthy individuals such as yourself. Wealthy individuals. I mean, we have accumulated a lot of gil. I understand if you wish to refuse outright, but I beg of you, please listen to our proposal in full before you decide. For the sake of Doma and her people, I should be glad to lend a hand. It's no bother, really. Let's hear it. Or, what's in it for me? No, yeah, for Doma and her people, I'd be glad to lend a hand. It warms my heart to hear you say that. Truly, Doma has no greater friend. Where to begin? Of course, it is important that you understand the state of the Enclave at present. I am sure you recall how everything was when you first arrived. Rubble in the streets, buildings in ruins, and so forth. I do recall. Well, we have made some superficial progress since the castle fell and Doma was liberated. The scars of the occupation are far from healed. Since antiquity, the kingdom of Doma has prospered from the gifts of the One River. The success of our agriculture and industry is intricately tied to our position here. Yeah, there's a giant river that runs through Doma. Alas, in our struggle against the Garlands over the decades, much of what was built over the centuries was lost. Fertile farmlands that once yielded produce for export were despoiled, and what little remained could barely feed our people. Our foreign rulers did not hesitate to impose their will on local industry as well. Not only were we forced to purchase goods from imperial concerns, regardless of quality or cost, but our merchants were also forced to sell their wares to Garleans at a loss, assuming they received compensation at all. While those dark days are behind us, many of our former trading partners are reluctant to engage us in trade agreements for fear of the Empire's wrath. Yeah, fair enough. Doman's liberation is still yet fresh. And so for the most part, we must continue to fend for ourselves and craft what tools and so forth we require. Or so we would, had we the facilities. Yeah, seems you guys are in quite a pickle. Forgive me. It's not so dire as it may sound. Our problems may be many, but we are wholly committed to the challenge before us. We are not unlike the Shazenzo. Oh, okay. The Shazenzo, a hardy herb that can thrive in even the most inhospitable conditions. I took inspiration from its strength and stubbornness when deciding upon a name for our organization, in fact. Oh, the Shazenkai? I see. No matter the struggle, no matter the cost, the Shazenkai will do everything in its power to overcome every hurdle and rebuild this home of ours. Admire your dedication, Lannis. Please excuse my sudden fit of passion. It's okay, Les. It was most unbecoming. Anyway, I have spoken of the general state of the Enclave. Let us discuss more specific concerns. Though, having said that, it would be simpler if you were to see things with your own eyes. Please head to the worksite north of the Aetheryte and speak with Mitsuba. I shall join you shortly. Alright, anything else to say, Kozukura? I need a moment to finish some paperwork, so perhaps you go and speak with Mitsuba? I shouldn't be much longer, but I do not wish to keep you waiting. Okay. Oh, this way. Oh, this is like, I think this is like supposed to be like an inn? Question mark? Something. Went to speak of before. Oh, Yugiri is out here. Hello, Yugiri. If you're looking for Gosetsu, he is with Yotsuyu. Keeping close watch of her. Yes, quite close indeed. See, we wouldn't have found Yugiri if we hadn't out here. Alright, Mitsuba. Well, you're Kelvin Light, aren't you? In need of a hot meal? Oh, see, they didn't take that last long at all. Actually, she's here at my behest. I thought it would be best if a potential patron saw our efforts firsthand. It would be so kind if you would be so kind as to explain to her what you do. Oh, foisting the burden onto me, are we? Very well, if you insist. Allow me to properly introduce myself. I'm Mitsuba. Once upon a time, I owned and operated the largest tavern in the Enclave. I had a hand in everything from balancing the ledges to stirring the cookpots. Owing to my experience, I've been asked to oversee the work here. Oversee the work here in the 10,000 stalls. Yeah, a lot of stuff, a lot of construction. Ha! That was the exact same look I gave Kozukura when she showed me this place. 10,000 stalls. By the kami, there's not even 10. I see. So okay. So these are stalls, quote unquote. I thought that they might be building something here, but maybe okay. But mark me, there will be. When we're through this place, we'll have an offer. Every imaginable cuisine. Oh, this place will have on offer every imaginable cuisine. Just thinking about it's enough to set my heart racing and my mouth watering. I see, so this is like to be like a food market? As I explained earlier, however, trade, or lack thereof, is a major problem at present. We simply aren't getting enough shipments of consumables from outside Yansha, and so our people are forced to eat the same simple fare day after day. However, once our negotiations with foreign concerns bear fruit, we should be able to exchange whatever surplus we produce for a wider variety of ingredients, bringing us closer to realizing Mitsuba's vision. This may seem like a silly goal to strive for, but by improving the quality of life for our people in a clear, understandable manner, we can motivate them to work harder and tackle more difficult tasks. Doma will not be rebuilt in a fortnight, and we need every victory, however small. We have a bloody long road ahead of us, but we need only take it one step at a time. Whatever help you can contribute to the cause would be welcome. Thank you for taking the time to speak with us, Mitsuba. I'm sure the East Aldenar Trading Company would be willing to trade with them, and also maybe we could get trade with, or a small amount of trade with the Steppes. We should head back to Shazenkai and continue our conversation there, so as not to get in the way of their work. There's not too much left to explain, but if you would indulge me a little longer, I would be grateful. Anything else to say, Mitsuba? It's not much work to look at. It's not much to look at right now, but believe you me, it will be. Okay. Alright, then back here to Kozakura. The 10,000 stalls are but one example of what we hope to build here in the Enclave. Alas, it will take much time and effort. And it will also take tremendous resources. Resources that I pray you'll be willing to contribute. Raw materials, foodstuffs, linens, medicines, all this and more would be of use. Anything and everything you can afford to part with would be welcome. Anything and everything. Is this like for crafter stuff? Like cooking, like medicine, like potions, like this is all crafter things. I'm not a crafter. But at least we'll have unlocked this. Furthermore, as a token of our appreciation, we will provide a small gratuity relative to the value of the items you relinquish. You need only place these items in the donation basket to my left. I'll calculate the gratuity and pay you immediately. The Doman Enclave reconstruction commenced. You may now use the donation basket to contribute unneeded items to the Shazenkai. These items will be used to supply and finance the reconstruction of the Doman Enclave. Further details can be had by speaking with Kozakura. I hope this evening finds you well, Kelwyn. If you have any questions regarding the reconstruction effort, I would be happy to answer them. Yeah, okay, we'll go through everything. The state of the Enclave. Our work has really only just begun. For the time being, we are channeling the bulk of our resources into development of the 10,000 stalls, that we may provide a rich variety of food to the people of the Enclave. As for the Enclave, perhaps this map will give you a sense of how much progress we've made thus far. This is a blank piece of paper. It's nothing. I hope this evening finds you... Okay, more stuff. Okay. Donating items. Anything and everything you are willing to part with will gladly accept, and I do mean anything. Furthermore, as a token of our appreciation, the Shazenkai will pay a small gratuity. I should warn you, however, that we are a limited budget allocated to this purpose. Okay. You may donate items to Shazenkai. The funds raised from the sale of this item will go towards the reconstruction of the Doman Enclave. Any items that can be sold to vendors may be donated. Oh. In exchange for item donated, you will receive a gratuity. The amount is slightly more than what you normally receive when selling said items to a vendor. Okay. Moreover, as the Enclave develops, the gratuity you receive from items will gradually increase. However, the Shazenkai has a limited budget to pay gratuity for donations. Once the weekly budget has been exhausted, no more donations will be accepted. Okay. Alright, what do we got here in the pouch? We got some things that we could sell. Animal hide. Giant toad skin. We got shriek shrooms. We got animine torsos. We got bomb ash. All the stuff that we can sell to the vendor. Okay, these are food stuff. Okay, we can sell all this. Donate. Donate games for, yeah, sure. And it's not a lot. Thank you so much for your contribution. We pray you will favor us with your generosity in the future as well. Okay, well, I guess we'll come here to vendor all the things. Oh, hold on, there's a couple more things we can vendor. I don't know what this is. Oh, it's cobalt stuff. Let's put these over here with our food. Alright. That's cool. So we can still slowly see this place develop. Alright. Yeah, onwards with the main story then. Hekura? We have spared no effort to increase the guard at every settlement here in Yasha. Red Koshin will trouble us no more. On that you have my word. Yeah, that one incident was suspicious. I don't know if it'll happen again, but maybe if the Empire had their hand in it. Okay. Let's go inside and speak with Ian then. Alright, Alpha now. We know the broad strokes from his letter, but I would hear the details of our Doman friend's progress from Lord Ian himself. Used all the spare drops from dungeons to help get your enclave up. Got so much money. Nice. Yeah, I'll definitely make sure to come back here to vend all my shit. Alright, Alice. Ever since he drained our coffers dry buying the sword, Alphino has had his purse strings in a death grip. I can't even buy a cup of tea without him going on about the dangers of frivolous spending. He's taken this lesson and he's just ran with it. Hien, I see my letter reached you across the Ruby Sea. Thank you for coming so swiftly. Though I wrote at some length on the subject of the forthcoming exchange, there was one matter I neglected to mention. It concerns Gosetsu. As you may have observed, he returned from his ordeal rather the worse for wear, and despite his efforts to conceal his condition, or perhaps because of them, he recently collapsed. No. Good gods, is he all right? Confined to bed and grumbling without cease, but he has shown signs of recovery. He made me promise not to tell you, lest you worry unduly, which was all very well when you weren't here. Now that you are, however, I think it's high time he receives some visitors. Might you spare him a moment? Yotsuyu has scarcely left his side, and I imagine you are curious to see what has become of her as well. Sure. We will visit him at once. Kelwyn, Alice, shall we? I guess we'll go see him. Yo, Gosetsu, you injured?
Open wide now.
Please, Tsuyu. I'm not so frail that I cannot feed myself.
He was just like, no, totally, I would totally go along with this, but oh shit, they're here now. Nope, don't do it anymore. No, I'm a strong front.
I grow weary of the taste of gruel.
You don't like it? Can I fetch you something else?
Aye, wine. Or if that is not wholesome enough, I don't know. A sweet persimmon from Namai? I enjoyed them in my youth.
A persimmon?
Dude, Gosetsu, watch what she says. She's so earnest, she'll totally go out and get one. She'll travel across Yasha, man. Don't doubt it.
Nay, pay me no mind. I am full. Besides, we have guests.
She'll totally do it, man. So you
we are
nod.
not interrupting your
She's
meal.
going.
We had heard you were confined to bed and thought you might welcome some visitors.
Confined to... A gross exaggeration.
A gross exaggeration. I am not confined. I can stand up and walk about whenever I so wish.
A trifle drained from my exertions, perhaps, but with a little rest, I shall be fighting fit again in no time.
You say that.
Take off your clothes.
Gosetsu, is this how you've been spending your time?
Ah, Jesus.
My lady, I assure you this is not.
Off with them. We need to wash you. You stink.
Or it's like, gasp. Clutch my pearls. Gosetsu. Laugh. Oh, we got cushions to sit on.
What are all these scars? There are so many of them.
I appreciate the effort to at least put some scars there. To at least put some scars there. Also, these look like, I don't know, like bullet wound scars, blade stabbing scars? I don't know.
A life of battle will leave its mark upon a man.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I gave my character some scars on her face or whatever, because it's just like, she's a fighter. Let's look a little bit, give a little bit of the rough and tumble vibe. Oh fuck. She's got a memory.
Is something wrong, Tsuyu?
Yeah, she remembers she's one of the reasons for those scars.
It's nothing. I'm fine.
They just make her so suspicious, man.
But leave me be, woman. I will not be fussed over like some newborn babe.
At least Alpha and Alice are enjoying poking fun at Gosetsu. They make a convincing pair, do they not? On first acquaintance, I would think them a doting grandsire and her a model grandchild. Yeah. Unfortunate that Yotsuyu was actually a piece of shit that could regain her memory at any time. Indeed, had someone told me a year ago that I would live to bear witness to such a scene, I would have declared them mad. That aside, I am relieved to see Gosetsu has lost none of his spirit. But what a turn of events. I mean, for her to suddenly be watching over him... You couldn't make it up. Although I suppose Gosetsu is an old man, with the way he charges through life, it can be easy to forget. Aye, he has resisted decrepitude with the same defiance he showed the enemies of Doma. But no matter how adamant his will, no man can carry on forever. He has pushed himself beyond the limits of endurance too many times. Even if his health returns, the fact remains. He'll never again be the warrior he once was. Yeah, unfortunate. Time to pass on the katana to a new generation. He has given his all for Legion land, and we will ask no more. And what if his nurse? If Yotsuyu is feigning that, well, she certainly has me fooled. Yeah, that's what I said before as well. Like, I don't think Yotsuyu would be able to, there was plenty of opportunities for her to escape, so, you know, like, she's definitely not fooling in terms of the memory loss. But we did see, now we didn't see in character, but we did see she's regaining some of her memories. This definitely is not a permanent condition. Question mark, question mark, question mark? Is it Gosetsu? Or are you Gary? Or somebody else? This is no pretense, but Gosetsu was crying finding bed rents. This is no pretense? Oh, it is you, Gary. Okay. You, Gary, out of all of us, I would think you the hardest to convince. So what makes you so sure? I've been spying on Yotsuyu from the shadows, waiting for the misstep that would betray her charade for what it was. But her mask has never slipped. Not once. She has remained in character from the first. One evening I watched her as she sat in her chambers, unguarded and alone. She had taken the dishes from the cupboard and was pretending to prepare dinner right there on the tatami. A child's game. Even the wariest shinobi would not go to such lengths. I can but conclude that her mind is truly broken. Well, that's good enough for me and everyone else, I would hazard. Yeah, I was convinced of her condition. But, you know, like, I'm not convinced it's permanent. You know, like, stuff with the mind, man, is finicky. The matter is settled. Yotsuyu will become Suyu and begin a new life here in Doma. It's finicky. Man, it's finicky. You can't say that. Before that can happen, however, we will need a present for her. We will need to present her to the ambassador one last time to prove that her memory is truly gone. I would not risk parading her in front of our returning conscripts. Her presence at the exchange would only stir up mutinous thoughts. Understandably, she as good as fastened the chains around their necks. Yeah, considering she betrayed the original resistance. Aye, which is why I mean to conclude this business with Suyu first, out of sight of my countrymen. Will you help me? We are at your service. There is no higher purpose than the pursuit of peace. Indeed. Though we're not going to find that here, but, you know, like, we could maybe at least find... Maybe we could, you know, dance some politics a little bit and then get a little something out of this, but... My thanks. The Garlands are on their way and we must prepare to welcome the ambassador. We will meet you at the docks with Suyu. I don't really have a voice for Hien. I've just been, like, more or less straight reading his lines because I don't think I can mimic his voice. Or I can't. Period. Alright, Yugiri. Even after weeks of surveillance, it was difficult for me to accept that Yotsuyu's condition was genuine, but not as difficult as accepting Gosetsu's affection for her. I mean, they were on that deserted island for a while. Skiff will take us to our meeting with the ambassador. He will join you at the docks once preparations have been made. I don't want to see that man again. I don't think he wants to see me either. But, you know, like, maybe me being there will incite him to such rage that he'll maybe reveal his plans early. I don't know. Alright, Hakuro, anything to say? Okay, nothing else. Alright, away we go. Say, can you imagine Yotsuyu playing with balls on the floor? I don't know that we can think of her as the same person anymore. No. No, we can't. That's why we, you know, it's not fair to her to treat her unfairly when she lost her memories. Alphino? Shall we wait here then? Lord Hien should not be long. Like, as soon as she regains her memories, like, I mean, she'll still have her memories of her time as Tsuyu, which could, I don't know, change her mind in some capacity, but she'll have all her memories as Yotsuyu, which made her Yotsuyu in the first place, so I doubt she won't just be like, okay, we'll just continue with this. She'll go back to being a piece of shit. My friends, have you seen Tsuyu? She is nowhere to be found. I'll bet you she went out to Namai. I told fucking Gosetsu not to tell her that he wanted persimmons, man. What? But the Garleans will be landing in a matter of moments. She's fled. Could it mean her memories have returned? I know not. Yugiri is scouting the streets as we speak, but it's possible Tsuyu has left the Enclave altogether. Captain, a word. Did you perchance carry a fair-skinned woman across the river? Fair-skinned woman? That seems like such a general descriptor. A fair-skinned woman, my lord. I do not rightly know. I think... yes. Yes, my lord. Now that you mention it, there was a lady among the passengers whom I do not recall having seen before. Her face was hidden by the brim of her hat, but I remember taking her hand to help her in the boat. White as new fallen snow it was. Was she someone important, my lord? Have I done something wrong? Wrong? No, I was merely hoping to catch our guest before she departed. Be at ease, Captain. It would seem that Tsuyu has crossed the river. Kami, help me. No good can come of this. Maybe not. All right, let's take the healing coffer. All right. Okie dokie. Then let's equip this. So that'll include the hat, the gloves, and the boots. Update. And then, whoops, let's switch over to White Mage and equip it here as well. There we go. It's not much of a difference besides maybe the boots a little bit. Because the cloak and the pants make up, you know, obviously most of the set. Okay. But it's a good... The Dairyumaku set is pretty nice. So here's the main piece for the armor. So pretty swanky, pretty swanky. Definitely a good vibe for Doma. Alright. I don't think we're going to be fighting just yet, so let's switch back over to Scholar. Alright, Alice? Her memories must have returned. Why else would she run? I'm telling you, she went for persimmons, man. Alphino? Without Tsuyu, I cannot see how the prisoner exchange, or indeed the peace process at all, can proceed. We have to find her, and soon. Alright, gone like the morning dew. Ah. Yeah, Tsuyu, is the Japanese word for dew. So, that's probably why this quest title. We are at your service, Lord Hien. Now as before. Let's meet the crossing and begin our search. You go on ahead. Someone should let Yugiri know what we've learned. I'll join you on the other side. I'll say I appreciate you always being willing to hang back and do the... Yeah, I appreciate it, I'll say. We have no way of knowing where Tsuyu is headed, so we best divide our forces. I will take Kusakari and its surrounds. Alphino, if you would take the road to the Castrum Fluminous? Kelwyn, forgive me, but could I ask you to interrogate the residents of Yuzukan Manor? One of the Namazu may well have seen our quarry. Okay. If everyone is in agreement, let us board the skiff, and hope the kami smile upon our efforts. Oh, we've been teleported. Don't even need to board the skiff. It's just like, yoink, you're going.